Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Chauskas. Today is the 19th of July 2018, so welcome everyone to this Thursday afternoon session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments I believe are quite interesting right now. Before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, very quickly, before we jump into the charts, quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, which we update on a daily basis. We provide different trading technical analysis and, of course, our daily report which we produce every morning. So yeah, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find something useful here for yourselves, guys. So as well, we do have some videos, different webinars coming up as well. So yep, like I said, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find something useful here. But for now, let's quickly have a look at what's happening with the markets. So the first one I want to touch on actually is the Nikkei. Now, this is one I've looked at this one in one of my videos about 2 weeks ago, and this was the point where it was trading at that point. So I was looking at this one, and certainly it did at that point. It looked like that this wants to continue pushing lower, especially given the fact that we've got this kind of short-term ish, or let's say probably more midterm upside support line. This running here since around the September 2017. So it looked like that it wanted to move lower here and maybe eventually actually get a touch of that trend line, but we saw a reversal back to the upside here towards this level here around the 21,930. Now this level acted as a very nice area of support here around the end of May, but then, like I said, yeah, we've around the beginning of July we broke it to the downside, moved lower. So it looked like a bearish formation, and of course it looked like that it wants to go lower, but that never happened, and we saw a strong reversal from there. We moved higher, we broke this key level again, the 21,930, moved higher, then moved lower to bounce off of it again, and now we are not far from these highs that we saw here in the mid-June and the end of May. So keep an eye on this level right here, the 23,050. Could be a very good potential area for a test. Certainly we're seeing these two daily candles now showing up as bearish ones, and we could maybe see a bit of a drop here, certainly, but nevertheless it still looks more bullish, and especially for us to kind of become even more bullish on this one, or let's say to become more comfortable with the upside potential, we would need to see a nice break here and a close above this 23,050 mark. So could be a potential good area for an entry, especially, like I said, if we get a nice close above this level. So potentially we could maybe position ourselves for a slightly longer term trade here. Let's say if we take a position here and enter long here at around that level that I was just talking about, the 23,050. Certainly have your stop loss in place. So a good potential stop loss could be this area right here at around this 22,770 mark, approximately there, or maybe slightly below that a little bit, but nevertheless, and this is where we could start aiming for in a path towards this 23,500 level, and this level here, the 23,500, has been a nice area of resistance that we saw here on the 1st of February. So Certainly this could be the first potential area of resistance for this index again, if we get a break above the 23,050, but of course if that doesn't stop it there, then we could make our way all the way towards this upper side here. This point in time, I mean, it would be difficult to kind of do something with it right now. Let's see where it's going to find its new area of support. Is it going to be somewhere around here, or it's not exactly the same level, but I mean it's just around that around this level here, so this area. Keep an eye on it, guys. With the lower side here, if it does make a move below the 23,055, well, I mean, this could look a bit, well, a break and a close below that 200 EMA, and this is 3050 level initially. And like I said, I'll probably repeat myself, if we do get a nice break and a close here above that, well, we could potentially start aiming for higher levels. Let's quickly touch on gold. Now, the ones who are trading gold, you probably are aware that we're in a beautiful sell-off right now, and we've managed to kind of touch this level that I had highlighted here in one of my previous videos, and I was talking about this one to keep an eye on. The 1215 mark is now currently acting as a nice area of support. Certainly we had a bit of an overshoot here. We moved lower, we managed to touch the area around 1212, and now we're, like I said, we're pushing back, and the bulls are trying to push back back above this 1215. So keep an eye on this one, keep an eye especially on today's close. At this point, I mean, it's really difficult to talk about the upside. Certainly, don't get me wrong, there could be a potential recovery, a small bit of recovery here back to the upside, but the question is, of course, when are we going to have a little bounce here from this 1215, or actually we're going to continue dropping until we reach this 1205 mark, approximately there. Now let me just quickly highlight that area. So the 1215 is the kind of longer term target here, just given the fact that it acted as a nice area of support here around the 10th of July last year. So basically in the same time, almost the same time last year, we've managed to kind of reach that level. So from which then you can see that it moved higher towards the end of the year. So the question here is actually, are we gonna see something similar this year as well? Are we gonna actually bounce off of this level and move higher again? But of course, again, let's not over speculate too much, and let's see what it wants to do with this 1215 level first. So this is gonna be the one to watch in the shorter term, because let's put a 4-hour chart quickly here, because if we're gonna see a bit of a recovery here and a bounce higher, probably we're gonna start hitting some levels of resistance. And then maybe if this wants to kind of continue dropping towards this 1205, we'll have to, like I said, we'll have to keep monitoring this 1215 level very carefully now, from now on, let's say like that. So keep an eye on it, guys. Gold is really a good one right now to watch, and the EURJPY is now making its way lower. We had a reversal here yesterday. The daily candle turned bearish after a consecutive, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 9 days of consecutive gains. We finally had a reversal here, and now today's candle is also turning bearish, to the bearish side, and it seems like it wants to move lower. Certainly it hasn't reached yesterday's lows, so be very careful with that one. And probably for a possible trade here, I will put a 4-hour chart, guys, in order to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So we are here above this upside support line that has been running here since around the 29th of May. Certainly we're kind of quite far away from it now, and this is the question here: are we actually gonna make a move lower here and make our way towards this upside support line, or actually are we gonna get a reversal somewhere here and then push higher again? And that's the reason why I've got this level here, the 130.75 highlighted here. So not somewhere higher, but around this area. So if we do get a nice break here below this is where it could become more interesting, because we could eventually position ourselves for a possible short here, because if we do get a break below the this 130.75 mark, this could potentially open the path towards lower levels. Certainly this is a possible idea for a trade. So something like lows at around 129.50 mark, so something like that, which is also not far from this support line that I was talking about. So basically something, so keep an eye on this, guys. Certainly don't rush into it just for now observe this level, the 130.75. Looking at the GBPCAD, now this is another good one, and I'll quickly put a daily chart just to kind of show what's happening. And certainly at the moment we are seeing a bit of a sell-off, and you probably are aware if you're monitoring the British currency. So it's not performing well, let's say, this week, because it's getting hit by bad data which is coming out of UK, and yep, so this is having its effect on the British pound. So certainly we started off with this sell-off here on the 17th on Tuesday, and yep, it continues to drop further. Today's a slightly better maybe day comparing it to the previous two, but nevertheless it's still a bearish day. Let me just put a 4-hour chart on this one, and we were sitting here in this little range here that was running since the end from the end of June, and we were stuck here for quite a while, and like I said, until the 18th, which was yesterday, until the 18th we were stuck in that range, and we broke it to the downside. So now a possible scenario here could be seen if we, for example, take the same size, the same distance here from this of this range, and put it just slightly below here on the breakout. We could potentially aim for this level right here, the 171.300. Now approximately there. Now that level, the 171.300, is the kind of an inside swing here that we can see. Well, let's call it maybe an inside swing, but like just a cluttering of these candles here. So this level also the kind of an undecisive level here for the bears and the bulls, so could be aiming for that level again here. So the 171.300 could play out one more time. Certainly we're seeing today that we've moved below the yesterday's lows, and we've moved below this 172 mark, and now, like I said, it still looks more bearish than bullish, and like I said, we could maybe aim for this area right here at around 171.300. Certainly if you are entering a trade here, always have your stop loss in place. I mean, I cannot really kind of point out that more accurately that, yeah, have your stop loss, always have your stop loss in place, guys. And one last pair that I really wanted to touch on is the USDCHF. So maybe not a lot of you are trading that, but nevertheless it's quite looking interestingly, and we are still stuck here above this kind of support line, let's say like that. So we are kind of moving higher. We've managed to break a few key resistance areas. So let me put the 4-hour chart on this one quickly. So we've managed to move away from this area here, the 0.99900. We've managed to reach the of course on the way up here we've managed to break the psychological 1 mark, and we've reached this 1.00335 area, which was marked here by the high of the well, actually yesterday's high. So we've managed to break it to the upside again today, but we're seeing that the bears are kind of really trying to fight back here and trying to push it back below this level. Certainly for us to become more bullish on this one, we need to see a nice close above this level in order to kind of start considering a possible move towards this 1.0055 mark, approximately there, which was marked here by the highs that we saw in May. So approximately the highest point in May that we had is around the 1.0055 mark. So this one could be a nice possible trade, of course. And if you are looking for something a bit longer term, then in order to kind of become more comfortable with the slightly longer term upside potential, then we need to see a nice good close above this 1.0055 mark in order to kind of consider another move higher, maybe even towards this 1.01 mark. So watch out for this one, guys. Certainly at this point, be very careful. We could even actually maybe get a reversal back to the downside here. So actually, let's get rid of this line here, and this is the area to keep an eye on, guys. If we suddenly get below this area, well, I mean, it could open the path towards this upside support line, which we could end up testing one more time. So for now, be very careful. There are some good levels to watch, but especially this one, this 0.99250 mark. But we'll only consider that level if we get, like I said, if we get a break here below this zone, this area here that I've got highlighted. So but I'll probably again repeat myself, guys. At this point, it seems to be quite more bullish than bearish, but for us to become more comfortable on this one, with the upside, we need to see a nice close here above this 1.00335 and eventually above the 1.0055 mark for a slightly longer position for an upside. I hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much for watching and listening, and bye-bye.